So good afternoon, everybody. So I'm the healthcare guy. This afternoon I'm Ingmar Hoerr from Germany. I'm the founder of CureVac. That's a biomedical company founded 20 years ago. And it's now a pleasure to talk about a bit the fusion from biotech drugs with data. Well, just think about, what is health? How is health defined, and what is disease? What is disease defined? And if you just think about, for example, the traditional Chinese medicine, well, they think about, there's something going wrong with your body, with your energies, energy flow, or Ayurveda, the Indian philosophy, their fluids, for example, is something going wrong. And I came to the conclusion, if you're unhealthy, if you're sick, there's something going wrong with the information in your body. So the data flow is somehow disrupted. And it's quite interesting if you just think about, getting flu, for example, a flu infection. So your body acts with fever, you feel very bad, because the body seeks for information how to cure and how to kill the virus. So it takes time to acquire this information. And think about cancer, for example. Cancer are cells which are derailed from information. You have everyday multiplication of cells, billions of times a day. You have new cells in your body. And of course, there are mutations as well. And some of these cells, they're not anymore linked to the information flow of the body, so they just hang around. And what they do is just to multiply. They multiply because they have no other function. And then these cells, they get into organs like liver or like a kidney, and then they just grow there and kill the body because the organs are not functioning anymore. So that's cancer. And all modern cancer treatments these days are trying to get information into the body to find these cells and to kill these cells. They use the immune system, for example. The old-fashioned treatments were chemotherapy, where you just do something, hit the body, and the growing cells are dying. Also, the healthy cells are dying. So it's a really crude treatment. No, it's more targeted these days. So information is key. And that's the reason why we founded CureVac about 20 years ago. So we are located in Tübingen University. We come out of a Tübingen University lab during my PhD thesis. And we were happy to get investment from the SAP founder, Dietmar Hopp, and also of Bill Gates Foundation. So interesting that these two IT pioneers were investing into our company. Why? Because it was clear from the very beginning that we just use drugs as a tool to interact with the body, to deliver information to the body, to deliver data to the body. So my PhD thesis was about RNA. That's a biomolecule coding for information. The chemical moiety of this molecule is always the same. It's 4 building blocks, and they're just different in the sequence. So on RNA, you can encode all proteins you want. And RNA, by the way, was the first biomolecule in evolution. So we use the RNA just to plug into the body as a memory stick and deliver genetic data to produce proteins. And these proteins are used to heal the body. So it was thrilling, and I was thinking, what to do at the Tübingen University, just to continue as a postdoc or really to step out and get into proof of concept. And mice are not enough. You need to have clinical trials. So we had to establish pharmaceutical production, regulatory things, and all the stuff to get the things into the clinics. So now, what kind of information we can encode on RNA? That's the real thing. And we're working on that. For example, we work with Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation on flu. Universal flu. Just think about every year you get a flu shot and you get protection or not, maybe just 40% protection. But you might think about a universal flu shot. What does it really mean that you're protected for 5 years or 10 years or even lifelong? And why is this not the case? Because the virus strains you get injected, so the vaccines, very old-fashioned. There's not enough information for the body. Using messenger RNA, where it can load a lot of information on this molecule, enables you to use AI to predict what's happening in the future. So what is going on in terms of mutation of the virus the next years. You can use data from the past, and you can project data in the future. And you can grab all these data on RNA, like the memory stick. It's a kind of syringe, and you can inject this data into the body. Cells take it up and make all these antigens, all the proteins, and the immune system is trained to fight against the virus, even if the virus is mutating the next 10 years. So that's the project with the Gates Foundation. It's very interesting. Think more on cancer vaccines. You might also assume it's the same for the cancer, that you can predict, how to get against these cancer cells and the mutation of the cancer cells. And also you can think about to print RNA drugs, because the production is always the same. The sequence is different, but the molecule is always the same. You can just print it out, and we have a printer now ready where we can just print these drugs in pharmaceutical grade to start clinical trials very soon. And that's now the link to information-based business, also the link to startups in digital. We need to have this data, and lots of data are available for complex diseases like Alzheimer or Parkinson. It's not really enough just to have one pill and then you think you can cure Alzheimer. It's much more, it's really complex. Therefore, you need a lot of diagnostic, you need a lot of data, and really look for the root cause of these diseases. And once you have it, you need to get it into the body. And that's where we come into place. We can use the printer and print all required proteins, encode it on RNA, and apply this to the patients. So if you have a good diagnostic, it might happen that a 40-year-old guy gets diagnosed, he's prone to Alzheimer in 40 years. You can already start right now treating the guy, keep him healthy. And I think that's the new future, if you just think about that you can prevent diseases already. If you linked the right diagnostics to the right data and with the right treatment. And now let's think about industry. There's a real transition in the industry. Is it the pharma industry, Roche and Pfizer and these guys are doing that? I think these are very focused on drugs. I think now the focus is shifting on information, on data. So let's think about the data guys like Google, Alibaba and these guys. They all have branches dealing with healthcare. They're all really collecting the data. There's a lot of cloud in the cloud, a lot of data are there. But how to get this data into treatments? I think that's the missing link. And I think we fulfill this link. And I think in the future, what I really foresee that there's a shift in this digital data, in personalized treatments, and there's also a possibility that diseases are prevented from the very beginning. So there might be no infectious diseases anymore, and also cancer, I think there's a likelihood that you can also treat a lot of cancers like this. Just follow up with an individualized treatment in the end. So what does it mean for the industry? And that's really interesting. So is pharma really shifting into a kind of service business model, focused on the customer, which is a healthy guy, or maybe a patient, but a healthy guy? Or is it more businesses like Amazon, where you can have a kind of service, a monthly checkup, and then you get a monthly treatment or something like that? That's quite interesting to see how the industry is changing. But I'm sure that there will be a move into this data-based therapies, and RNA will play a very important role in that. And I think there will be a transition. Last word in terms of cost of goods. RNA is very cheap. So we work with the Gates Foundation on a flu vaccine, which costs about $1 per shot in material. So the more important and available part is the data in the end. So what kind of data you want to collect and take on this RNA? So money will be made by data, not anymore by drugs. Thank you very much.